Hong Kong national team player Mark Granger, and Mark, a great night for Hong Kong football.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, Andrew. We can see the atmosphere building this evening. It's a great pitch, great stadium. Tough game for Hong Kong. It's going to be a great test for them. The Chinese are very strong, but we're looking forward to a wonderful evening of Hong Kong football.
Okay, so let's see how Hong Kong fare at home against China. On goal difference, and China are sitting in second place. The other two sides, Kuwait and Malaysia, Hong Kong being on top due to their victory over Malaysia, China defeating Kuwait, though China's win over the Middle Eastern nation by just a slender margin of 1 goal. Hong Kong, on the other hand, defeating Malaysia 3-1. So the tourists in town in the white strip, Hong Kong in the red.
Yeah, like we said before, Andrew, a great atmosphere for this game in the smaller Susaiwan Stadium, just near Chaiwan here. The rain is still coming down, although not too strong as we can see from that picture. But to be honest, Andrew, it's a fantastic evening for soccer.
So, Mark, the Hong Kong team lineup, a lineup where your name appeared a few times. Now, very much a local Hong Kong affair.
Yeah, it is very much so. I mean, we've seen some foreigners in there in the past, but they will just have one on the bench who's a foreigner. But a few old hands. Lee Wai-man, of course, the captain. Chung Sa-ho has played many international games. It's going to be tough for these Hong Kong players. They're not as strong as these fellows here. Again, a few famous names, Hao Hai-dong in there, Andrew, and the Sun Ji-hai from Manchester City in England, who is a tremendous player, the number 7. So we'll be watching out for him.
And China coached by Dutchman Ari Han, who was part of the fabulous Dutchman of the 1970s World Cup campaigns, making the finals in 74 and 78. Your referee from Thailand is Mr. Mongkol. All our referees, officials, I should say, this evening are from Thailand. Not the best conditions for football, 19 degrees, 93% humidity, a slight breeze blowing across the ground as well. And as you can see, the rain has started to come down, and it's very slippery, though, Mark, you had a much closer inspection of the pitch just before kick-off. I did, Andrew, because it's always a big factor, and with this rain, it probably favours the Chinese, I would suspect. And here we're just kicking off a great evening, it really is. But, yeah, the pitch is a little heavy in parts, but to be perfectly honest, it's one of the best pitches, if not the best pitch in Hong Kong. I've played on it many occasions, and it doesn't get used an awful lot. It will take a stud tonight, so most of the players will be playing in 6 studs rather than the regular moulders, as we normally see the Hong Kong league played in, because the pitches are so hard. But like I say, in patches, it's a little heavy under which will probably favour the mainland Chinese. And just a quick word about our regular SMS guessing game, which you can use via your mobile phone. If you can enter the menu function, select messages, write messages, then enter 11 if you would like Hong Kong to win, enter 12 if you think China will win, and 13 if you think the match will be a draw. And a chance here. A last gasp effort by Hong Kong, and it took Feng Jizi to snuff that one out. A man who one day dreamed of playing for China and wasn't good enough at the time, and ended up getting a national strip with Hong Kong. Well, so a very close call for Hong Kong. Yeah, it looked a little bit like a handball as well by Leung there, Andrew, and like you say, cleared away by the defender. But we can see Hao Hai-dong, 33 years old. He's in this side largely because he's a master-class striker, and he gets in the in those danger areas so often. He's kind of a natural predator, as it were, and that's why he can still play in this national team at 33 years of age. So just finishing off what I was saying briefly about the SMS service. After 11, 12 or 13, send the message and press confirm, then enter 508618. You'll be charged $1.50 Hong Kong for each call. And the deadline for this game is basically before the start of the second half. Yeah, we just saw there, Andrew, that just losing a little bit of
the ball didn't quite bounce, and number 7 losing his footing, which is a little unusual for him. He's not used to playing under such conditions, maybe. Very hot and humid here. Plays his football in Manchester at the moment, although it is fairly rainy in Manchester, so maybe he is used to playing football in these conditions. Really a fantastic talent, and Sun Jihai, he's not only gone to UK, Andrew, he's made his name there, and he's a regular starter for Manchester City, which in the Premier League, playing the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, is a great compliment to him.
Well, Mark, it's also an indication of the seriousness with which China are taking this match. Hong Kong may be referred to as the little brother in this match, but they're not to be taken lightly, especially as they're leading this Group 4 in Asia, ahead of China, Kuwait and Malaysia.
Yeah, no, I think they certainly cannot take this game lightly. That's a definite foul. And I don't think they are, to be honest. They need to win, they have to win, they're expected to win. And really, to be honest, they should be just too strong. But you never know. And Hong Kong could pack a punch and 1 or 2 surprises.
Zito Man with that free kick, and an interesting little flick there, not proving much of a problem for Lu Yunfei in goal for China.
Yeah, Lau Chi-kung there just pushing up. Of course, the central defender for the corner, very strong in the air is Lau, and just not such a great ball by Zito Man.
Mark, Hong Kong really not enjoying that bad a spell, really, particularly if you look over the past year, 2003, in particular wins over Chinese Taipei, 2-0 there, 3-0 over Macau, wins over Mongolia, that was a 10-0 whitewash, and a win over Guam as well. So good morale-boosting victories, and a not particularly dangerous-looking shot there, safely into the hands of Fan Chun-Yip.
Yeah, I think in all honesty, Andrew, I'm following this Hong Kong side as we do, living here in Hong Kong, and Lai Sun-chung has for me done, he's a bit of a taskmaster. He's probably not the best or most technical coach, but he's certainly got these boys disciplined and working very hard, and he's got a much better attitude than a lot of the previous Hong Kong coaches. As I say, they're playing as a unit and stick together, and that's definitely one thing that they've not really done too much in the past. So he's really got them believing in themselves a little bit more, and given them a slight cutting edge with discipline and tackling.
Well, Mark, something we noticed with the Olympic qualifying match between China and Iran recently is the Chinese, even at the under-23 level, have quite a significant physical size advantage over many of their opponents, and the same can be said for tonight's match as well. A lot of big lads on the field for China. Yes,
definitely. I mean, we did see that, as you said, the under-23 Olympic team, most of them were well up to or over 6 foot tall, and it is pretty much the same, isn't it, this evening? Just looking at those mainland Chinese defenders in the box, and it's difficult to see any Hong Kong player, even Lau there, winning a header from this corner.
And a good opportunity for Hong Kong, the corner by Kwok.
Yeah, it's another corner. Good start for Hong Kong. That'll give them confidence.
Some of the Chinese players didn't agree entirely with the linesman. So another corner it is. So another possible golden moment for Hong Kong. Cheung Sai-ho lobs it up. It's an easy take for the Chinese keeper.
Yeah, Cheung Sai-ho, number 8, got a great left foot, very skillful. He'll probably, I'm not sure, I'll be surprised if he makes the full 90 minutes. He's not injury prone, but again, he's not the youngest player on the Hong Kong side, and he has had a number of injuries throughout recent years and his career. So great talent, though, to have in your side. He can always create and open up something.
And Mark, wise scheduling by officials here in Hong Kong for this match, playing it at Susai One Stadium. The atmosphere is absolutely electric, and a chance for China. Oh, so close. The shot from Zheng Zi, who plays his club football in Shenzhen.
Well, Zhang Zi is one of the stars, Andrew, I can tell you, and that's just clipped to the post, hit the post. He's one of the stars of this Chinese side, pushing up from central defence. He's made good contact with the ball, and Hong Kong are very lucky to escape with...
Mark, look at that. Hats off, though, to Fan Chun Yep. That was first-class save.
A lot of pressure here for Hong Kong, but looks like they're going to survive this one.
Mark, Hong Kong with plenty of pressure of their own, playing in front of a home crowd, but overall the bulk of the pressure very much on China for this match.
Yeah, I think so, and I mean they're actually expected to take the game to Hong Kong. They really are, because they're the favourites. They are the big brother, you can say.
Yeah,
looks a little
some attention,
little injury there.
Some attention, yeah. Mark being dished out to Chu Su Kei.
Well, it'll be a shame to lose him early on, and let's hope not. In fact, yes, they're signalling. You can't quite see it on your screens, but of course we're at the stadium and we can see they're signalling to get him back on the field, and they need to do that fairly quickly. We should be able to get back on now as the ball goes out of play. But yeah, shame to lose him. He's a great talent, and you know, one of the better Hong Kong players on show this evening.
So he's back on. Hong Kong back to 11 men.
Yeah, it really is up to China to take this game to Hong Kong, and I think they'll do exactly that once they just settle down and finding their feet with the pitch and finding a little bit of space in midfield. And I'm sure we can expect some goals at both ends, maybe.
Well, Mark, we avoided the obvious bit of history in this match. Much has been written about it leading up to it, of course, the famous 1985 World Cup victory. But there's been a lot of water under the bridge since then, since the days that Kwok Ka-ming led that side to an historic victory in Beijing. These days, two very different sides.
Yeah, very much so. We've seen China move in leaps and bounds in a footballing sense, and they are a totally different side to that side that lost to Hong Kong in, and of course remember it was in China. I think it was in Beijing, Andrew. It's good football by Hong Kong in the centre of the field.
Well, that's not the first time the referees got in the way of play.
Here he is, Zheng, the number 5, wanting to take control. See the ball just a little bit skidding away, Andrew, as we knew it would, and the players have just got to settle down to that.
Oh, a wonderful break.
Yeah, again, just mentioning the pitch, that was actually a super little ball chipped over the Chinese defence, but it just skidded away all too easily to the Young Fei Liu, Chinese goalkeeper, very easily. Has to be said, though, Andrew, one of the biggest problems and weaknesses with this Chinese side, as we also mentioned on Saturday for the Olympic side, was scoring goals. They, you know, all of the Chinese sides throughout, under-23 Olympic, national team, even under-19s, they all have problems scoring goals.
Well, that certainly follows the pattern in this World Cup qualifying group for Asia so far. Early days, but China with a 1-0 victory over Kuwait, Hong Kong with a 3-1 victory over Malaysia.
I mean, great result for Hong Kong, that 3-1 victory over Malaysia, and that's why this game has taken perhaps a little more importance than it normally would, because Hong Kong, as we saw on the outset, are the top of this group and the team to beat. There's a team manager, Matthew Kuhn, and Chow Man Leung from Sun Hei, one of the local professional sides here. Seems quite a bit of space for the Hong Kong team.
Well, Mark, the irony is that these two very closely related sides are in fact not that familiar with each other. Certainly China not as familiar with Hong Kong as they would like.
No, I mean because China have gone on to greater and better things, then invariably they're involved in, well, of course, in the recent World Cup, but they don't really get a lot of benefit anymore, I don't think, from playing friendly games and against Hong Kong. And if they're not drawn in certain groups, then they probably don't play each other as much as they used to. Where there still is the Hong Kong Interport game, so there's that every year, which is against a Guangdong side, which some of these players have played in for the mainland Chinese and the Hong Kong national team. But no, definitely not in the same category, we could say, as they used to be.
That's Zhao. And the shot deflected. Well done for Hong Kong.
Another strong run, but given away poorly. Here's Sito man now for Hong Kong.
Not the best coordination by China, but Sun Jihai just squeezing through there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was offside or not, Andrew, because Sun Jihai was...
yes, he was.
Was the last man over.
The flag is still up over on the far side.
Yeah, so that was a good call from the linesman. It kind of just rebounded to him, and he was presented with a gilt-edged chance. Look at that ball skipping away. And the offence was certainly not in that position.
It's Hong Kong coach Lai Sun-cheung. Oh, nice pass. Kwok again trying to get a touch. Zito.
Well, Kwok Yu-hung is another one of the better players, and here he is on the wing.
Does well, he doesn't hesitate. Good cross from Kwok Yu-hung. That's Hao Haidong, the old man, if you like, of this Chinese squad, 33 years old.
Well, they really don't look very comfortable. I mean, it has to be said, they're a little bit at 6s and 7s, and they don't seem to have settled down to the conditions yet, Andrew, the pitch. The ball's skidding away, they're not putting a foot on the ball. Neither Hong Kong, for that matter, and it's not very good football at the moment.
Hong Kong, though, Mark, absolutely game for anything from what we've seen. And that should be an easy take for Fan Chunyip. As China qualifying for their first World Cup in Korea and Japan 2 years ago. They've come a long way since the inaugural C League Championship got underway in 1994. Another reminder about our SMS messaging game, which you can use through your mobile phone. Press 11 if you think Hong Kong will win, 12 for a China win, 13 for a draw. Send the message and confirm and enter 508618 and confirm. You'll be charged $1.50 Hong Kong for each message, and the game will finish before kick-off in the second half.
Yeah, a lot of stray passes at the moment, and China have really got to get a hold of this ball in midfield. Looking for
that pass too long.
But it's not a particularly good ball. It's a little hopeful and high.
Hao Haidong says thank you, but there was no way I was going to get that.
Yeah, I think Harry Ahn has mentioned in the press recently that he's finding it difficult to get or find the correct partner for Hao Haidong and the style he plays. He's not found anyone as yet. He's played a few different people there, but it's so important to get a good partnership together in any team, irrespective of a national team.
That wasn't the smartest thing to do, and Hong Kong again showing their ambition. The support's not that fast in coming through. That's great work by Wong Chunyu. Great solo effort, and it's still going.
Well, Wong Chunyu, absolutely great skill on this near to us at least, on this right-hand side. He's turned the Chinese defender inside out and played a reasonably good ball into the box. Good pressure from Hong Kong.
Well, Mike, this is exactly what Hong Kong coach Lai Sun-cheung would like his players to do, just rattle China's cage, unsettle them as much as they can.
Yeah, I think so. That's a poor ball in midfield. That could be very costly, but well won back and well battled from the Hong Kong team. But no, you're right, Andrew. If they can get under them, they can challenge them and make it difficult. The Chinese side will, well, they even look a little uneasy so far. I mean, look at that. You just don't expect that from a Chinese international footballer.
Yeah, slip up there from Zhao Junzi. Again, it has been raining this evening, so the pitch isn't exactly gripping.
It's better work from the Chinese in midfield. Sun with a very nice touch. There's the captain.
That will take some of the steam out of Hong Kong's attack. Chu, the closest player now, down for Zhao.
Well, we can hear the crowd, Andrew, getting a little uneasy with this because they expect so much from this Chinese side, and they are not delivering at the moment.
It's Yang Pu. Yang with not a bad looking ball through, but that's not exactly what he wanted to do. The Chinese were doing well there, keeping it out of Hong Kong's possession.
Well, poor from Sito Man there, because he had a lot of time and space, more than he thought, and you know, a very poor clearance.
That's Zhang.
He did have time.
Zhang shadowed by Zito Man, who has no hesitation in hitting the turf.
It's going to be a China throw, though. Deemed a dive from Sito Man. Good to see, actually, Andrew, the referee letting the play flow.
The last time these two sides met was in Yokohama last December, where China won 3-1. Was in the East Asian Football Championship. Just coming up to the 20-minute mark here at Tsu Sai Wan Stadium. Mark, a ground you've played on plenty of times. For your money, probably one of the best, or if not the best surface in Hong Kong.
Yeah, I think so, Andrew. I mean, we've seen, obviously, last night an awful lot of rain came down, and today, so that's made it rather heavy. But still, you can see plenty of grass on it, and it really just doesn't get used that much, which is why it remains one of the best surfaces in Hong Kong.
Lovely
through ball.
Another example of how these Hong Kong players have been able to get under the skin of their compatriots.
Yeah, I just hope they can do it for longer, Andrew, because it's early days yet, and the Hong Kong players are still very sharp and fit, but as time goes by, this heavy pitch, I feel, will take its toll on them, and that's where we'll see the mainland Chinese, who are obviously a lot more physically stronger than their Hong Kong counterparts, probably come into their own. So I just hope Hong Kong can sustain the fitness levels required.
Li Weifeng, Chinese skipper.
Here's Sun now. Good defending, though. You've really got to get very tight to these Chinese strikers. They really have, because given them a yard or even half a yard in and around the box, and it's very, very dangerous.
It's Yang Pu. Zhao. Happy to move it out. Lee getting a touch as well. Chinese looking for anybody there.
Well, two Hong Kong players went down trying to slide tackle and win the ball, and neither of them got anywhere near. They've got to be very careful of committing too early. You can see a little heavy breathing already from the Chinese defenders. Hong Kong Chinese defender, should I say.
Zhao Junzhe with the corner. It's a Hong Kong League-style strike. Way off the mark by Yang Pu.
Yeah, we'll perhaps give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was on his weaker foot, but maybe it wasn't.
And it's slippery.
Yeah, I think he's a left-sided player by the looks of that, Andrew.
Well, it did the job. So the second match for both these sides in World Cup Asian qualifying, Group 4.
Now, for me, that's where Hong Kong have got to be a little bit stronger. You see, just receiving that ball, he was easily pushed off the ball, and the Chinese are just physically that little bit sharper, stronger, and Hong Kong have got to, you know, you've just got to get your body behind the ball to try and protect it.
That's Xiao. Oh, it's a handy-looking cross, but it's an easy take for Fan.
Fan did well there. He read the danger early. Wayward ball from midfield.
It really marked the last 7 or 8 minutes. Hong Kong have barely had a touch.
Yeah. I think it's starting to settle down now in the fact that China are finding their feet literally on this greasy, wet surface.
That's Hao Haidong. Yang puts the cross in, and a little slip up there by Lung Chi Wing. Fan Chun Yip signalling to one or two defenders to just calm things down.
I mean, I know it's easy to say from sat here in the commentary booth, Andrew, but things like that, you know, had he been a very experienced defender.
Oh, that ball too far.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity for Hong Kong, wasn't it? And there we see the pitch taking its toll once again, and Hong Kong have won another corner.
Li Weifeng, the victim of himself and, as you said, Mark, the slippery pitch, and another corner for Hong Kong.
Yeah. Well, that's they've had, this is I think the third or fourth corner we've had so far, which is fantastic for Hong Kong. A lot of pressure. See what they can make of this. Just not a particularly great delivery. It didn't make the handball.
Well, it's certainly seemed like one.
Yeah. But I think the key thing, Andrew, is to try and get a better delivery into the box.
Ari Han, the Dutch coach there.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not very happy from what he's seen so far. That's going to run out easily, I can tell you that, before he kicked it. I mean, you know, you just can't play those kind of balls for me on this surface. You've been playing half an hour on this surface, and you have to get used to the conditions, frankly. But I think if Hong Kong can hold this Chinese side and keep it at 0-0 going into half-time, they'll be very pleased with that.
Again, the pressure very much on China in this game, much more so than Hong Kong.
Well, good covering, good defending there. Fan Chun Yip was out, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's his hip or...
He seems to be clutching his hamstring, unless he's caught at the boots or studs of the keeper. Let's see it again.
I think probably the goalkeeper's just caught him, Andrew, with his knee maybe.
So Feng Jizi, originally from across the border in Guangdong province, and had the opportunity to play first club football in Hong Kong, and then residency rules allowed him to get a national strip, something which he wasn't as Zheng Wei Zhong from the Hong Kong camp.
Yeah, they've got plenty of experience in this Hong Kong camp.
They've got a packed deck on the bench there.
There's plenty of substitutes, and one we can see just out of a picture on the TV screens, but warming up straight away. It'd be a shame to lose this fellow, because he's had a bright 20 or 30 minutes for me. He's been one of the better players for Hong Kong.
So by the grimacing Mark, I'd say that we're probably going to lose Feng Jizi, 27-year-old.
That's a great stop.
A wonderful
save.
stop for Hong Kong. And Fan Chun-yip has kept the home side in the match.
It really was very difficult, Andrew, because we said the pitch is so slippy and greasy, and it was a wonderful header down, textbook header, and that should have been the opening goal. Great save.
A Chinese corner still on, so we will bring you the replay as soon as we can. Li Weifeng desperately trying to lose his marker. Zito Man not having any of it.
Well, it's not a great clearance.
That's
from
a very dangerous ball.
No, he's going down for a penalty there, but good refereeing.
And a few claims for handball by some of the Hong Kong players as well. So a bit of a mess in the penalty area there. And
well, he's a big lad. I'm not sure how tall he is, Andrew, but we can see even from the commentary box that he's certainly not the smallest fellow on the pitch, one of the bigger ones. And what a great save. We're just seeing it again, the highlights. Good header.
That was a superb take.
This will be an even better angle, I believe.
Great instinctive save.
Well, Hong Kong just let off of the hook a little bit, and let's hope that's a warning to them.
Nice athletic kick there, but it's gone straight to Zhao, who's sent through a great ball
well, that
forward.
could be a penalty, Andrew, for me, maybe. Whoa, it's possibly a lucky decision, because I feel Hao Haidong had actually taken the ball and gone round the Hong Kong keeper, Fan Chun-yip.
Well, Mr. Monkol, our Thai referee, says that was legit. Mark, what do you think?
You watch, Hao Haidong takes the ball away from him, but he does fall after it. Good decision, I think, good decision, no penalty. Having seen the replay.
That's what replays are for.
Because referees haven't got the benefit of them like we have.
No, that was a good call.
Very good refereeing.
Rungklay Monkol from Thailand, along with Mr. Prachia and Mr. Apichat.
They're always tough decisions, Andrew, because Hao Haidong did take the ball around Hong Kong goalkeeper Fan Chun-yip, and then he just, well, he just fell over.
Okay.
Free header, though, wasn't it? Look at that. No marking there. Obviously, the key defender we just saw go off injured, we understand, just rejoined the game. He was missing badly at that corner.
I'll tell you, if Hong Kong can hold out for at least a point or a victory in this match, that's a save that will be played back again and again and again.
Yeah, the captain, Li Weifeng. Yeah, it's not good to see this. He's not really getting up, and he's grimacing. Fan Chun-yip.
I'll tell you, Hong Kong do not want to lose Fan Chun-yip. And another reminder there about our SMS guessing game. If you'd like to take part in this, enter the menu function, select messages, write messages, enter 11 if you'd like Hong Kong to win, 12 for China win, 13 for a draw, send the message and confirm, enter 508618 and confirm. You'll be charged $1.50 for each call, and this game finishes before kick-off for second half. And there's Hong Kong's replacement, it looks like.
Yeah, it does, Andrew. I can't quite see who's gone off, because I thought I saw the injured player rejoin the field for Hong Kong, but maybe not. It's going to be well shepherded out.
Either way, Hong Kong now have Man Pei Tak, number 3, on.
Yeah, I honestly don't know too much about Man Pei Tak. He's a new addition to this Hong Kong team.
Well, I think he's before your time, Mark. 22 years old.
Yeah, yes, apparently plays for Rangers, and he certainly looks a lot younger than I do, Andrew, so definitely before my time. Well, great evening for that young lad to get on to play against the mainland. Great experience and a wonderful honour, I must say, to represent and play for your national team.
So, yes, Feng Just confirmation there, Mark, that Feng definitely will not be coming back on.
And to be honest, Andrew, that's a terrible blow. It really is, because, like I said before, for me, he's been one of the better Hong Kong players, and he's been prepared to get a foot in when needed, defending against this Chinese side.
Hong Kong really playing like stars at the moment. That ball, though, just a little too difficult for Kwok Yu-hung.
Well, Kwok Yu-hung, I can tell you, I've played against him many times, and he is very, very quick. So even against these mainland Chinese defenders, he can certainly hold his own.
The Zito man.
He's conceding the foul. A little bit tenacious, probably, and wanting to win that ball too eagerly. But they're having the moments, Andrew, really, Hong Kong, aren't they? They don't look too overawed.
Not overawed at all. In fact, I'd go so far as to say they've been cocky on occasions.
Key thing is keeping shape, though, and that's just sometimes what they lack.
Well, that should have been left for the keeper. Well, it started with a clever cross from Wei Jin. And Ng Wei Chu there of Hong Kong getting a touch in that little melee.
Well, he's of course the other famous young player playing for Hong Kong. He's the only player who has gone to play in the Chinese National League. In fact, he was a goal scorer against Malaysia, and he's one of the brightest stars for this Hong Kong side, Andrew. He plays his football, as I mentioned, in the Chinese National League, just over the border, and that's pretty much a rarity for Hong Kong footballers. Another dangerous corner for China.
The corner from Zhao. Bit of aerial ping pong there, and Zheng Ji, the Shenzhen player, was the danger man in that little move.
Yeah, I understand, Andrew. He's one of the brightest stars, definitely, and I think possibly one of the players of the year this season. So that's something to behold.
Hong Kong playing a great running game, able to dish up as good as they get. That's Wong. Was he touched? Mr. Moncol says no.
Well, I have to say, Andrew, that's very, very good refereeing, because he seemed to go down a little too easily for my liking.
Hao Haidong. Charge, he does charge through.
Two Hong Kong defenders just diving in. And you can't do that. You've really got to stay on your feet, particularly on this greasy, wet surface.
Well, plenty of work tonight for Fan Chunyip.
Yeah, he's having an outstanding game, isn't he, Andrew? He really is keeping this Hong Kong side.
Oh, Mark, a dangerous pass. That wasn't a good. That wasn't a good pass back to the keeper either. That's Zheng.
No, and particularly on this surface, anything can happen. He can hit a water puddle or whatever and just stop dead. Oh, China up in the tempo now.
Oh, great strike, good stop. That's Kwok Yu-hung.
Well, to be honest, Andrew, I don't know why they haven't done that a little more often. Once again, very, very good goalkeeping. He couldn't hold on to it. Great power in the shot. And yeah, from that Manchester City man, he's running through, left foot, good strike. But yeah, I think China have definitely got to have a few more shots from distance.
No, it came in on the wrong side.
Just a little bit of quality, isn't it? That's all they need, that final ball. And it's just lacking in throughout the Hong Kong team, really, Andrew.
Kwok Yu-hung looking for that pass on his inside. That didn't eventuate. The throw from Yang Pu.
Now here's where they've got to get tight. Just you can't really let him out of there. It's a bit too easy for them at the moment.
Zhang's pass. A little too quick for Wei Jin, just letting it slip through. A lot of jeering and booing by the 8,000 or 9,000 strong crowd here when China decides to just keep it out of Hong Kong's hands and pass it amongst themselves.
That's unlucky by Hong Kong. Good football, nice 1-2. There's a lot of space opening up there, but a good challenge. Very good tackle.
Zhao. Now Haidong looking for it, and Zito Man trying to keep it away. A slight touch. The referee says it was allowed.
Well, the referee is having none of it, is he, Andrew? He's allowing play to flow, which I personally like, and players are going down all over the park, but he's letting play go on, and it's well officiated at the moment. Certainly the Hong Kong crowd getting behind the local side. This really is great to see, and holding the mainland counterparts 0-0 so far in this first half.
It's going to be one very tired player by the time this half is out. Hong Kong's Kwok Yu Hung. Yang Pu with the long throw. Just coming up to the 40-minute mark here at Siu Sai Wan Stadium.
Well, definitely, Andrew, I can tell you, I've played in a number of games such as this for Hong Kong, and the longer they can keep it at 0-0, the more pressure will be put on the Chinese national team. As long as it stays as it is, they will have to force, they will make mistakes, and that might just allow one or two little openings for Hong Kong. My biggest concern, to be honest, is fitness for these Hong Kong players, and particularly with the pitch being as heavy as it is.
Well, they're about to get a much-needed break, and
there's a chance here.
Oh, a little ball through. That certainly wasn't a shot, and Sun was closest to it.
Yeah, Sun Jihai following up as all good strikers should. It's a poor clearance this time from Fan. But yeah, we saw how Haidong at his best there, turning the Hong Kong defenders. Well, I think Hong Kong can sense there's a huge clock just out of the picture, and Hong Kong know how long there is left in this first half, and if they can just hold on another 5 or 6 minutes, that'll give them an awful lot of confidence going into the second half.
Yang.
That's too easy to skip by Kwok.
Keep it in. Zhang to Zhao out wide. Sun
Jihai, if they can keep him out there, that'll be fine. That's going to easily skip away for a Hong Kong goal kick.
Yeah, it wasn't the best ball through to Zhang Yuning by Sun. And a reminder of the score as we approach half-time. Hong Kong 0, China 0. The man on the far right there, partly obscured, if you like, Ari Han, former Dutch football great from the 1970s.
Yeah, fantastic era, wasn't it, for Dutch football? Johan Cruyff and all the Johan Nieskins.
Yeah, Nieskins as well, and that's Yang. Nieskins is also coaching these days. In fact, most of them went on to good coaching careers.
Most of them are, Andrew. I mean, of course, the Dutch by traditionally very technical, and I think that's one of the main reasons why they brought Harry on to this Chinese national side too. They've got, the thing is with the Chinese national side, they've got all the physical attributes and makings of a real world powerhouse in football, but where they, for all their physical attributes, the size, the speed, the pace, fitness, they still lack technique, and that's why I think a Dutch coach has been brought to them.
So Wong Chunyu of Hong Kong and Zhang Zi of China getting tangled up there.
Yes, we've certainly got a vocal crowd here this evening, but great to see for Hong Kong football. It really is to see the terraces full again at a not necessarily a local game, because it's an international, let's remember, and a World Cup qualifier nonetheless.
Well, it's certainly a derby.
Yes, definitely. That's skipped by the Hong Kong defender too easily there. I'm not sure who it is on that far side. Number 12 weighs in.
There's plenty of white shirts in there. Well, Mark, you said it at the beginning of the match. One of China's great problems over the past few years has been finishing, and I think we've seen one or two examples of that this evening.
Yeah, it definitely is, and they're still, although they've got Hao Haidong, of course, he's I won't say past his sell-by date. He's a great player and striker, but at 33 years of age, they really need to be looking towards a couple of young 21, 22 or whatever year olds to be following up, and there doesn't seem to be that kind of player as yet to emerge from this national side. And so, of course, they're relying on Hao, and he's never been a prolific goal scorer, and particularly not at national team level, although he has for his club level.
I think at this stage of the half, Hong Kong just happy to constantly clear it out of their half, as we are just well, seconds or maybe a minute or so away from half-time. And again, not the sort of position that China, I should say, thought they'd be in at half-time against a relative minnow of international football. They are 0-0 against little brother Hong Kong. Okay, 2 minutes to be added on. Down there for Zhao.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about the 2 minutes, Andrew. That's a dangerous position just before half-time.
He was clattered, Mark.
I think so. The young boy is trying to get in front. And
yeah, Zhang Yuning is the player who went down. It was a tough tackle. And right at the death of the first half, Hong Kong facing a real test. It's close in too.
Yeah, there's a number of everybody kind of fancies it.
Well, Zhang Yuning fancies it. Looks like he's the one who's going to take it.
Well, it looked a lot easier than it was. Not the best of free kicks. He's got it up and over the wall, but it's straight at the Hong Kong goalkeeper, who holds it very, very well. And the ball's slippy, remember.
It looked like there was a deflection, but in the end, a pretty formal take for Fan Chunyep.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, perhaps could have done a... Sometimes, Andrew, with free kicks like that, they're almost too straight. You're almost too direct on goal, and it's nice to have a slight little angle so you can get some bend and whip on the ball into a far corner.
Well, Mark, he's not faking. That would have been quite a nasty knock. One of the dangers, I guess, of playing on a slippery pitch like this.
Yeah, it's just a follow through, isn't it? And it looked like he'd been caught on the knee, which is it's fairly painful.
Zhang again takes a tumble back there for a Lau of Hong Kong. They love to put the big ball through, but that time back for Liu Yongfei, who hasn't had a great amount of work to do in this first half. And About 14 seconds late, the whistle goes for half-time here at Susaiwan Stadium in this World Cup Asian qualifier from Group 4, Hong Kong against China. A reminder of the score. At half-time, it's Hong Kong 0, China 0. We'll be back after this break. Stay with us.